Hello, and welcome to the show for the love of animals, the show about your favorite pet or animal. We have a great session for you on Bluebirds today. I'm Darleen Pigford.
And I'm Greg Baur. We want to tell you about a couple of our upcoming shows. We'll be doing something with pets and children, or youth I should say,
Right.
and also with volunteers and the work that they can do to help out with shelters and with others. And we want to mention a new feature
Yes.
that we have just been able to get started here at the college. Our shows now are going to be on the web. And if you go to the website for the television, which is Paducah2.org, click on video clips, and then you can click down and choose For the Love of Animals, and the current show will be there. The only catch is that you do have to have high-speed internet, so it won't work on a dial-up.
So it means that you can watch this show anytime at your convenience.
Yes.
So we're so proud to offer our viewers this new option. Well, Greg, we have a great show today on Bluebirds, and this is truly a good education for me and what is happening at some of the schools, like Heath Elementary School.
Right, and we'll be talking more about that as we go.
Yes.
Our guest today is Mr. Bill Freels, who is a bluebird enthusiast, has been for a number of years. And Bill, we're so happy that you joined us today to talk about one of your favorite subjects, bluebirds.
We're so glad you're here, Bill.
Thank you. Glad I'm here.
Why don't we begin by telling us a little bit about how you got interested in bluebirds, Bill?
I was raised in building materials, and people would be wanting to build bird boxes.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people didn't even know what birds they were going to have in their bird boxes. And then a few people brought in some nice plans for a bluebird box, and would get those built for them. And all we ever asked was just somebody just pay for the materials, you know, and stuff like that. And now looking back, some of those boxes that we had the plans for, they were really neat looking, pretty little boxes, but they're horrible.
Horrible for the bluebirds.
Horrible for the bluebird as far as, you know, its quality of life. But I would guess that probably back in that period of my life that the bluebird boxes would be in the 200 or 300s. You know, I never kept up with it. And sometimes I would use scrap building supplies and all make boxes. I remember one time I made 40 or 50 boxes and gave to the local Audubon Society group.
How nice.
And now I didn't make them all. I made up 2 or 3 boxes and gave them the kits
Oh, I see.
for the rest of them.
All right.
And so they got a lot of boxes out.
Well, now understand now there is a project that you're working with Heath Elementary School. Tell us about that.
Well, Heath came in, I asked a good friend of mine. He and I had worked on various projects with students and things. I said, do you have anybody in your church or the school or anything that would be the right person for this? And to have a camera inside of a bluebird nest box.
All right, no, wait a minute. We're going to have actually real bluebirds in a nest box, and then we're going to put a camera on the top of it so we can see what's happening.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm with.
And so he without any trouble, I think he talked to the person before he told me who she was, and so that person has done a wonderful job.
Okay.
And a few years ago, Heath, myself and Heath and all, we had the best presentation that had ever been, nothing prior to it, and the best in the world.
Oh, okay.
Nothing, I mean, you know.
You had a good show.
Well, yeah, we had a good show that year. Now, since we were successful, there has been many people start putting cameras in bluebird nest boxes and other nest boxes. And one of the places you can see them is Cornell University is what we work through
Okay.
to show on the web. And the fast, easy way to get to the information there is this Cornell Nest Box Cam. Now, Nest Box Cam is one word.
Okay.
Cornell Nest Box Cam, all lowercase. It'll take you to their site, and then, you know, you can shop like walking into Walmart. You can find what you want. There's hours of shopping.
Well, now we have a videotape that you brought for us, and I want you to, this is actually of the Bluebirds, and I'd like for you to tell us what's going on in this nest cam.
Well, right now it looks like here's a pair of mature birds. They've found an empty nest box. And
how do you know they're mature? What's the...
Well, the coloration and the time of year. This is early in the year, and you wouldn't have juveniles. This is probably in April or May. I don't have a date on that. But they found an empty nest box. Our males, the bluebird male, they will find suitable nest boxes and try to show them to the females to try to get a nest started.
Okay. Now, is this a male or a female?
That looks like a male.
Okay.
And the male is what, generally all blue?
All blue?
It has more blue than the female.
Than the female, okay.
And the female tends to be more blue and gray, as I understand.
Yeah, there's a male again.
Okay. And I see he is sharing the chores.
I don't know whether this is the one or not, but there was one male that used to take it out just as fast as the female
As
would
the
bring
female
it.
put it in.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
He didn't like it.
I don't know what he was doing.
Okay, now your camera is at the top of this nest box, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is a critical thing that she's doing. That's forming the cup. And when they start forming the cup, they're pretty well committed to that nest box, that they're going to raise a family there.
Okay, that they won't be leaving that nest box.
Most likely they won't.
Okay.
Now she has brought some more grass in.
Okay.
I think it's just amazing that you're able to capture this on motion
Oh,
video.
I know. What a thrilling thing for youngsters to be able to see in real time. Oh, that was so neat. So what we've just seen is a pair of bluebirds who are building a nest.
Yes.
Okay. And how long in reality would that take? Maybe, would that be over 2 days, 2 weeks, what?
Oh, they could do it in 2 days' time, but probably a little longer than that. Let's say a week.
Okay, so it'd be about a week. Okay.
And then the size of the eggs, the clutch eggs, is 3 to 7 generally. And the miraculous part about the egg laying is that an egg is approximately 20% of the weight of a female bluebird.
Oh, my word.
And if she lays 5 eggs in 5 days, and then where is she going to do the 6th and the 7th?
Oh, my word. We're going to have to take a break after that fact.
Yes.
In fact, why don't we take a break from this wonderful information about bluebirds and turn to a happy tale about a cat named Sally.
Hi, my name is Sally, and I'm a light orange, long-haired cat with a bit of Persian in me. I am not really sure how old I am, but I think I'm about 3 or 4. Somehow, I wound up in the lower town area of Paducah without a home. I was really hungry and didn't know what was going to happen to me. No one seemed to want me. But then one day, I went to Dorothy's house. When she opened the door, there I sat with my pleading eyes. I was covered with fleas and had lost much of my hair. Dorothy took me to the vet, and she wasn't sure I was even going to live. But after medication and tender, loving care from Dorothy, I was soon back in good health with my hair growing back out. Dorothy decided to keep me. I was a little uneasy because she already had 3 cats, but I really wanted to stay. The other cats have gradually warmed up to me, and I feel much more secure now. I am sure that now I have a loving forever home with Dorothy.
One.
We hope you enjoyed that happy tale about Sally, and we thank Dorothy Lazara for providing that wonderful story to us.
And Sally picked a good home.
She sure did. We talked in the first segment about a lady at Heath Elementary School, and we'd like to identify her at this point, Ms. Lisa Alvey, and there's a picture of there on the screen. She's the one that had kind of spearheaded the project and the one that Bill has worked most closely with. So we're just thankful to her for what the work that she has done. And Bill, let's go back and revisit our video again and talk a little bit about the next part, which was the actual hatching of the eggs. We began to look at that and before we took the break, so let's pick back up there and please tell us what's going on.
Oh, well, as you say, they're beginning to hatch. And generally, all of them will hatch within a couple of days' time. There's not, sometimes all of them in one day they'll hatch. And just the nest that we've just now gotten through with at Heath, the cold weather really threw it some hard lucks.
Way behind schedule, I suspect.
Yes, and we lost 2 eggs. They didn't hatch.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But we had 3 healthy baby birds got out. She will eat the eggshell
Oh.
when almost always
Okay.
will eat the eggshell. Her body is just screaming for
Screaming for food.
food, and so she doesn't waste anything.
Now, do both the male and the female take turns sitting on the eggs?
No, female only.
Female only.
Okay.
Female has a bare skin patch called a brood patch.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That bare skin touches the eggs and keeps them the right temperature. The male
Okay.
does not have a brood patch.
Okay. But they both would feed the birds once.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We're going to see something with that a little bit
Uh-huh.
later.
Yes. I have seen male birds bring insects in almost as large as the baby birds.
As the baby bird.
Yes, I mean they.
Oh, that will make quite a meal.
Yeah.
Are there any insects that they're more prone to find in this area, or just any small insect?
Small insects. They are mainly an insect-eating bird.
Okay.
I have never seen one with an earthworm.
Oh, okay.
People say that they do. I've never seen one.
Okay.
One of the things that you can feed bluebirds is mealworms.
Okay.
And mealworms are easy to raise or easy to buy and feed.
Where would I get mealworms here?
Let's see. There's
What kind of store?
The farm store at Lone Oak.
Oh, any kind of farm store. Okay.
Sometimes, that farm store's got a sign out front that got
Oh,
mealworms.
okay.
And so that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
So, in certain times of year, it's just awfully hard for them to keep enough food coming in to even keep their body going. They starve to death in the winter and bad weather and all. And
How many times a year will a bluebird lay eggs, Bill?
here, most time we'll have 3 clutches.
Mm-hmm.
That would approximately when? What kind of weather are?
Well, we've just finished this first clutch,
Okay.
and then there'll be another one starting, and it goes so fast that it just amazes me that the sitting on the eggs to get them to hatch is like 14 days, and 14 days till they're big enough to get out of the nest box after they hatch.
Uh-huh.
And that's less than a month's time.
Yes, it is.
And it's just amazing.
When you say right now we're talking about the end of April, early May.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
And so maybe after a couple of months will they do another catch, and then one before the colder weather sets in?
All the pair like at Heath that's just got through raising that nest box, they will be building a nest probably within a week's time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got 2 cameras down there now. I mean, 2 nest boxes with cameras. We don't know which nest box. So we're going to switch and just watch and see which one they start working in.
Now, will that be the same parents who will come back to that box, or will be a new set of parents?
Probably the same.
Okay.
Well, now, the little baby birds that have hatched, say after 2 weeks and they're out of the nest, do they stick with their parents, or are they on their own, or what?
They stick around, and the parents will feed them and take care of them some, you know.
Okay.
And I've seen young birds stay with their parents through the winter.
Okay.
You know, it'd be like their parents and a few of their youngsters, you know, they'll stay together.
Okay.
And, you know.
Well, that certainly is amazing, and I am still just totally amazed at these kinds of pictures. I think that what you have done, Bill, in getting the cam in the box and so on like that, just will help people understand so much more about how birds behave and how they are, you know, how they function, etc. It's just amazing.
And it's so much better for the kids in a school, Greg, to actually see this than just to read it out of a book.
Exactly.
And so this is a wonderful use of technology and the human resources.
Exactly.
One of the things we need to do is, you said schools. And of course, that's what I worked with here. The schools have so many things that they need to do.
Oh,
and the
yes.
students have so little time and all like that. There's really a push on.
Oh, absolutely.
But it frightens me to think that we might quit teaching natural sciences and the children don't know anything except parking lots and things of that sort.
Yes.
Well, I think that's a good point. But I think with these efforts that are being made locally, that, you know, hopefully that isn't going to happen. So. Well, this is great information. Why don't we now take a break from our session on bluebirds, and we have something called Forget-Me-Not about 2 cats named Rocky and Apollo.
When Donna was a student at Murray State, she adopted 2 cats that were brothers to keep her company. One of the cats would curl up and sleep with her and was very loving, so she decided to name him Apollo. His brother was a lot more active and used to run like a gazelle. He and Apollo would spar with each other, so she named him Rocky. These 2 cats were a constant joy and comfort to Donna. Both cats lived with her wherever she went for a number of years. When Rocky passed away, he was 21 years old, and when Apollo died, he was 17 years old. Rocky and Apollo were very dear to Donna, and she truly misses them.
Welcome back, and we hope that you enjoyed that Forget-Me-Not tale from Donna Groves, and we want to thank her for that. And as is our tradition here, Donna has made a contribution to Project Hope Humane Society, so we thank her very much for that. And if you would like to have a pet be honored in such a way as this, then all you need to do is to give us a call at area code 270-443-8330, and we'll be happy to put the story on. So we hope to hear from you with that. One of our other regular features of a program, for those of you that are regular viewers, is a poem that is written by Pam Wells. And today we have a wonderful poem that she has written called When Mom and Dad Were Away, or Are Away, I guess. Let's give a listen.
When Mom and Dad are away. Everything is way too quiet, Dan said to his wife Eleanor. They cautiously entered the house as Dan tripped over a lamp on the floor. "Oh no, this place is a mess," Eleanor said as she walked through the house. She called for the dog and the cat, but the place was quiet as a mouse. "Come out, Sam," Dan called. "And Sassy, you come out too. And Polly, stop flying around. It could have even been you." The yellow lab crept out so meek as Sassy hid under the bed. "I bet it's a cat that made this mess," Dan said as he shook his head. "She'll have to be punished," he told his wife as he looked for the guilty cat. Then a shriek rang out throughout the house from the perch where Polly sat. "The dog did it. It's that darn dog. Bad, bad dog," Polly sang for all to hear. Then Sassy came out with her tail in the air, relieved that the coast was clear. "Good bird," squawked the beautiful parrot as Eleanor stroked her beak. Then Sam appeared with a heavy heart and laid at Eleanor's feet. "Pollyanna, you are the best," Eleanor said with joy. "And Sam, my man, Polly is right, you are a very bad boy. But we love you all just the same, so let's learn a lesson today. Mind your manners and try to behave when Mom and Dad are away."
We hope you enjoyed that poem that Pam Wells has written for us about what happens when Mom and Dad were away. If you'd like to be in contact with Pam and have her come speak to your group or school or whatever, she does a lot with humane education, you can contact her at area code 270-575-3822 or at a website petlicks@yahoo.com. And Pam likes to be known as Miss Bunny, and she brings her little friend Scooby Sue with her. So we just thank her so much for adding poems to the program. And let's bring back to the topic we're talking about. And poor Wicked here has just had an awfully hard day. And so he's going
sleeping.
to sleep. He never is this good at home. But Bill, let's talk. We were talking a little bit earlier about the characteristics of the birdhouse itself for bluebirds. So why don't we talk about some of those now from the model that you have there?
Okay, the birdhouse needs to be large enough to accommodate whatever species of bird that you're going to have.
Okay.
We're talking about bluebirds today.
And so this is specifically designed for them.
Specifically, now it will be used by other birds
Okay.
also.
Okay.
I like to say that the floor area of the bluebird box needs to have 20 square inches.
Okay.
At least.
At least.
At
Okay.
least.
Okay.
And, you know, more or less square or a squarish rectangle to the floor area. It needs to be deep enough that they can be down so the wind's not blowing right in on them.
Gotcha.
And all. The entrance hole needs to be sized 1.5 inches so that predator birds and all are not encouraged to use it. Bluebirds can use the 1.5 inches. No perch for the predator birds to sit on. The bluebirds don't need it.
Okay.
I make my boxes with big side vents, and I put a clear covering over that can be opened and closed. I use clear because we know from experienced people, I learn from experienced people. And one of the wisest, he was talking about that a lot of times bluebirds will go into a box where the predator's in there and then they can't get out. But if you use a clear covering on these vents, that gives enough light that most likely they're not going to make that mistake.
Okay.
And the vents are where they can be closed in cold weather and opened in warm weather and completely opened in hot weather.
Okay.
And we've got straight through cross ventilation.
Okay.
Small holes just won't do it. The eggs will die at approximately 109 degrees Fahrenheit, which is real easy to
Oh,
reach
gosh,
in our
yes.
and all. And this past cold spell that we've had, we've lost an awful lot of eggs just from freezing. And but closing the boxes up and all, makes it more likely that
Well, now,
that
Bill,
they can get through.
if we're wanting to attract bluebirds to our yard, should we put this house on a pole? Should we put it on the trunk of a tree or hang it from a limb? Or what's the best way to make it safe for bluebirds to come to?
Generally speaking, don't use a tree.
Okay. For obvious reasons.
Most of
I
the
think.
boxes we find are mounted for the human convenience more than
Yes.
they are for the birds. And 5 feet high on a metal pole of some kind is really convenient for the humans. The bluebirds will nest from virtually on the ground till, I know of one nesting in an old hollow tree that's at least 30 feet high. and they use it year after year. But to make it so that you can monitor and know what's going on inside the box, fix it where it's convenient for yourself. Locate the box in areas where you won't have excessive predation from snakes and coons and house cats and so forth, you know. The bluebirds are a short grass, that's the habitat they like.
Okay.
Lawns, golf courses, cemeteries, closely mown schoolyards, places of that sort.
Okay.
And they feed on small insects generally, and although I've seen them eating bugs that just seem impossible to eat and all.
And if our viewers wanted more information about bluebirds, let's give them a couple of, what two websites would you recommend?
Well, the Kentucky Bluebird Society, they could contact them.
Okay.
And then the Cornell University has their School of Ornithology.
Okay.
Okay.
And, that's the best website in the world, I think, Cornell,
Okay.
for bluebirds and
For bluebirds.
and such type birds.
Okay.
Okay. And so the one about the Bluebird Society is at Eastern Kentucky University, and obviously the one at Cornell is Cornell University.
That's correct.
Okay. And Bill, if our viewers by any chance wanted more information about bluebirds in this area, could they contact you?
Yes, they can.
And how would they contact you?
Well, probably the phone would be the easiest
All
thing.
right.
It's 270-443-7985.
7985. Well, that is so nice of you to help our viewers. In case anybody wanted specific information about your bluebird boxes or in the areas. Well, Greg, time flies when you're having fun.
No pun intended there when we're talking about
That's
bluebirds.
right.
Well, Bill, we'd like to thank you so very much for taking time out this afternoon to spend some time with us and with our viewers, telling us about bluebirds. I know for myself, I've gotten a real
I
education
have
from
too.
this.
And we are so proud of you and Lisa Elvey at Heath Elementary for your work with our young people. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I guess in closing, Darlene, I'm Greg.
I'm Darlene.
And we want to remind our viewers to give your pet a little extra love today and every day.
And take care of those bluebirds. Bye.
See you next time.